So here's an easy one for you all. As you probably have suspected by the title and thumbnail, this video is about making a tuner module. Instead of designing a complex circuit that would need lots of firmware to go with it, I did the smart thing and just bought a cheap tuner pedal off of eBay. Now let's start by doing the peel. Well, that was disappointing. At least I can use this piece of acrylic later in the build. Now let's get the electronics out of the case and see what we're dealing with. First problem that needs to be solved is how to power the tuner, as Eurorack is a 12-volt system and guitar pedals are normally 9 volts. Now if we look closely, see this chip here? That's an AMS117 voltage regulator. Looks like it comes in several flavors of output. On the next page, it shows that this regulator can tolerate up to 15 volts of input power. So 12 volts from the rack won't be a problem at all. And there's a polarity protection diode on the board as well, so there's no concerns about hooking up the power backwards. Now let's see what the circuit schematic for the tuner pedal looks like. I've reduced it down to just the components relevant to this project. Guitar would connect here, and depending on if the pedal is on or off, the signal is either displayed on the tuner or bypasses the tuner completely. After some probing around with the meter, I found that the first elements of the input circuit are a 100 nanofarad capacitor and a 100 kiloohm resistor. This is compatible with Eurorack levels of signal, so no processing of the input signal is needed. When we add in all the parts needed to convert this to Eurorack, it gives us this schematic. It's basically just attaching two 1/8" jacks to the TRS input jack already on the pedal. The only thing of note is that the TRS input jack is a switch type that is connected to ground when no plug is present. This connection will have to be broken for the tuner to do what we want, as shown in this final schematic. Now let's build it. First we need to design the faceplate. After taking a few measurements and using my last project as a kind of template, I came up with this. Now to do the engraving. Now to cut it out. Let's see how the tuner board fits. With the switch the only real attachment point, a glob of hot glue to make the board much more stable. Next, soldering some wires to the power connector. Then soldering those to the appropriate points in the PCB. And giving it all a dab of hot glue to affix the power connector in place. Can't forget the red stripe. Bending the input contact away from the ground so the input signal makes it into the tuner. Now to figure out where the input connects to the switch, as this will be the best place to tap into. Looks like the middle contact on the top. mounting the 1/8 inch jacks, soldering in the ground connection, and soldering in the signal connection. And there we have it, electrically done. Now let's apply the red acrylic plate that fell off the pedal earlier. Well, that figures. Now to mount it on the rack and see what it does. I don't know how good the CV tracking is on the output of these mini sequencers, but I think this project is a success. I can tune to middle C and go up and down an octave, and it looks like I stay more or less in tune. Well, there you go, tuner pedal into a Eurorack module. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.